you are someone who is about to move out of your parents' home or your college dorm room into your first official apartment with your partner especially, then this is the video for you. Today I'm sharing with you some of my favorite tips for moving. This will help you so much, save you time, and also make you feel more excited about this experience instead of like dreading it, because I know moving can be a lot. It's like mentally, physically, and spiritually taxing, so it can be daunting, but I promise you after watching this video you'll feel so much more prepared and excited for this whole experience, because that's exactly what it is. It's an experience. Enjoy it, go along for the ride, and do your very best. You got this. I am super excited to be back on YouTube and just to create video, because right now I am currently full-time in my business, Coconut Whisk. It's a mission-driven vegan and gluten-free food company that specializes in breakfast and baking mixes. That is my life. That is my full-time thing. I started it when I was 22 years old, and I didn't know that it would turn into what it is today. It's been a ride, it's been a journey, and I've learned so much. I am ready to also invest back into my creativity. Like, that's been something that I've been craving for so long, and I haven't had the opportunity to really be serious about it or commit to it. So like, I am taking care of myself by simply showing up and creating, and hopefully this is helpful for you as well, because recently I went through a really big transition with my life, with moving and living with my partner full-time. So it's been a really big upheaval of activity and experiences, but now that we're settled, I am super excited to share with you some of these tips that I've learned while moving, and you know, with your moving experience, I know that this will help you as well. So now, giving you some background on my living situation and what I've been doing. So in 2018, I moved out of college and went back home to my parents, thinking that we'd stay there for a year or two, but then realized quickly that we couldn't afford it, just because we were putting so much effort into our business and we wanted to save as much money as possible. And so that was the plan. And then on top of that, COVID happened and we just didn't have the motivation to try to move out. We thought it was the best situation for us because I got to spend a lot of time with my family and make sure that they're safe. We were quarantined together, so it was a great situation. End of 2021, we've been living with them for almost 4 years, and I love my parents. I love, I love them so much, and I love the time we spent together, and we've always grown up really close to each other, like proximity wise. So moving was this like really big deal to me, and I was dreading it for a little bit because I knew that this would just change a lot. While it did change a lot, I also look back knowing that this was the right decision, because I feel so much more grounded right now and more independent, more creative, more clear in my head. Obviously, like, living with family is great, but living with your family, like, it comes with a lot of emotions and feelings, and so this was just exactly what we needed. So 2021, I was feeling just a little distressed and like itching to find my own place. Honestly, we took like 6 months to actually find a place. We toured so many places, and honestly, by the end of it, this is the funny part, we were so ready to just find a place that the apartment that we ended up getting, we didn't even tour in person. We found it online, we saw pictures, videos, and we're like, yes, let's just pick this. Kind of like a shot in the dark, but it turned out really well. Maybe not take that as an advice. Follow after me, because you definitely want to always check out the vibes of the place. We just didn't do it that time, but it ended up being good, and you can always make the best out of any situation. So that's my little ramble. So I have about 8 tips that I'm going to share with you right now. Okay, number 1, I did not start packing until like a week before we had to move, and this was such a big mistake. I could have used that time to just pack things I knew I wasn't going to use on a daily basis and saved myself so much heartache and headache towards the end of it. So my first advice is to pack in advance the things that you know you don't use on a daily basis, but you do want to bring to your new place. Okay, number 2, this one is really important, especially on move-in day. So make sure that you have a move-in bag. And what a move-in bag or move-in box is pretty much just a dedicated box or bag where you put your keys, water, snacks, tape, scissors, checklist, whatever. Because when you're moving, like, you already have so many things like moving and transferring from here to there that things get lost, and it's so irritating when you're trying to open a box and you can't for the life of you find a pair of scissors. Save yourself some time. Pack a master bag before you actually start packing, and this will truly just save you so much time. So number 2, pack a master bag or box. Number 3, this one's a given, but again, give yourself a checklist. You can find checklists on Pinterest, Google, whatever. Print it out and make sure that when you're packing, you're looking through it and checking off the things you've packed. And then once you unpack it, then you actually cross it off. This will save you from buying duplicates of things. And when you go to the grocery store, you can go in less trips. Miles and I, we went in so many trips that could have been prevented if we just really stuck to our list. I had my list and then I lost it, so it wasn't like the best, but I know that if we were to move again, I would be super rigid on the fact that we need to stick with the list, because this again will save us so much time, so much energy, and that's all we want to do right now is save time and energy. Number 4, this one's super easy, but get yourself a Sharpie marker and make sure you're labeling each and every box. Even like on your list, write out what the box is and what is in it. Let's say, for example, you have a clothes box. You're gonna write number 1, and then you're gonna write number 1 on your sheet, and then you're gonna write clothes, and then on the sheet you write clothes. So this way you know that all the boxes are getting transported when you arrive to your place, and you can check them off. So it's like a very nice and streamlined process. Label it and also name whatever is in it in your checklist, so then you have this master checklist of not only your items, but the boxes and the containers that you have them in. Okay, number 5. So this one is like a personal preference, but for me, I like to do things in batches. Like, I don't like to just have a slow process. I want it to be hot oil to the pan. I want to get in there, do it, and then be done, and then move on with my life. I would say give yourself a sprint period where 2 weeks, like, you're really just focused on moving and settling in and feeling at home. That is like the best way to really optimize your time and not feel like you're missing out. It's so easy to move to a place, and I did this in college. It's so easy to move to a place, get there, and you're just like throwing your stuff around and then taking off because you don't want to miss out, right? You have FOMO. Like, we all have FOMO. I definitely had FOMO when I was younger, but now it's like I have JOMO, which is joy of missing out. And so, like, I love just giving myself like a project or a duty and sticking to it. And it's okay if I don't see people for like 2 weeks. Like, I am so content with that. Try to give yourself like a 2-week period where you're sprinting, unpacking, getting your house organized, focusing on nesting and making your home feel like a home. Okay, and my final tip is to rent a U-Haul. We decided not to rent a U-Haul this year. Instead, we used my car and then my parents' van. This cost us like 2 trips. It was too much stuff for the amount of space we had, but for some reason we thought it was a good idea. So I would say rent a U-Haul. It's worth the money. You can get it all done in one trip. This is what I wish I did, but now you have my own experience and wisdom to validate if you should or should not get a U-Haul. So those are my top tips for you. I hope that was helpful. I know that this is a really daunting and exhausting experience. Know that this is, again, an experience. So you make it what it is. So you can either have this mindset of, oh my gosh, this is such a pain in the butt, or you can be like, this is a new adventure, this is like a new chapter. See this as you painting on a blank canvas. That's like my favorite part about moving, is knowing that when I'm done with the moving process, the transporting process, it's a new and beautiful experience. So I will have another video where I share with you some of my favorite ways to make a home feel like a home, especially if you have a small space. Like right now we have I think it's like a 700-foot apartment, and it's tight, it's cozy. So remember, this is a journey, this is an experience, and this is a new chapter for you that is and should be exciting. Make it magical. Have dance parties, celebrate along the way, buy pizza for your movers. My movers including my brother and his friend. Have an experience. It's good. It's all temporary, right? This whole moving experience is so temporary. So hang in there. All right, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and sign up for our email newsletter. Every Sunday, I will write you a love letter, encouraging you, empowering you, and making sure that you're set up for your week. So subscribe and sign up. I will see you later. Peace.